So believe it or not, I've been uploading to YouTube now for, I think my oldest video is like 14 years old. Almost half my life I've been posting videos on YouTube. It wasn't until the last couple of years I started uploading more frequently and kind of like putting more effort into the videos and trying to make like not just random clips and just random things throughout my life. So, but the one thing I did notice is that there's very little correlation between how much effort I put into a video and kind of like how successful it is. And also the quality of a video and how successful it is, also the correlation there isn't super strong. As long as you reach this like minimum bar of kind of a clear video that has clear audio, and when I say clear, I mean it's just understandable and you're able to see what's going on in the video. If you're able to get to that level and you're telling a compelling story, that's pretty much all you need to be successful. So, as I also mentioned in my last video, I'll put a link to that in the description. I'm also trying to trim down my setup and I'm trying to get a little bit more simple, and I'm trying to streamline all the gear so that I can quickly shoot, edit, and upload within a very short time frame. A lot of my most recent videos I've been able to shoot just as I'm doing other things, and I'm able to edit them in under an hour and upload them to YouTube. So within the same day I'm able to upload videos, which was not always the case because just as I've been trying to get my workflow set up. So yeah, I'm going to go through all my gear, everything I used to film. I'll give some comments on it, whether I think it was worth it or not. This is being filmed right now on a Canon EOS RP. It's a 35mm lens, and it's I think it's Rode VideoMicro. But anyways, I'll put a link to all the gear in the description below. I'll also put a link to kind of like some of the videos I've filmed recently, and I'll say like what gear I used to film those videos. So you can go in the description, see the video, and then right under it you'll see like a list of the gear I used for that video. So yeah, I'll start with the most kind of specialized, which I guess would be the motovlogging kind of setup, and when I'm using the GoPro to film motorcycle videos. So the way I do that, I actually recently sold my GoPro. I'm kind of rethinking if I'm going to be doing that going forward, but I do have my older GoPro. In general, I'm just not a huge fan of the GoPro software. The cameras are not super great to use. The software lags a lot. I don't know if that's improved recently. Mine was a GoPro Hero 7, and it was just so buggy, and I've always had the cameras dying on me even though I turned them off, and it was the software side of the things was just kind of horrible, even though the video quality was great. But anyways, so the way I had it set up is I had the GoPro mount under the, I guess this would be the visor of the helmet. So any type of like dual sport or off-road helmet will have a visor, and these are usually adjustable and replaceable. And I like this position because it put the camera very close to my field of vision, so it was sitting right under this under the visor, and it was adjustable up and down, and it's very similar to what I see as I'm riding. So when I look places, the viewer can kind of follow what I'm seeing. So I like this setup a lot. In addition to that, the mount is hidden, so when I'm not using the camera, there's really no way anybody would tell like I have a GoPro mount stuck on my helmet. The visors are typically replaceable, so if you want to get rid of this or this gets damaged or something, that won't be an issue. I know some people do the mouth thing. I didn't like this blocking the mouth vent just because it gets hot sometimes. One downside is when you're filming right here, there's not a lot of static parts of the picture. So you can go into other videos we'll talk about JPEG compression and video compression, but when you have a lot of moving things in an image, it really hurts the compression and it'll hurt the quality of the video. So the problem with this is there's nothing static. So everything you see was the full field of vision is the environment. So everything is moving, everything needs to be compressed, everything needs to be processed, and it results in a really poor kind of video quality. So you'll notice a lot of my motorcycle videos is just like, you can see a lot of artifacts, and it just doesn't look super nice unless you're sitting still. That's kind of part of the reason I'm moving away from doing kind of like this motovlogging type setup, just because I'm not really happy with the quality. Some people mount it on the side, and when you do that, you have some of that helmet that takes up the frame of the picture, and when you do that, all that part of the helmet is static, so you might end up with like 30% of the frame static, it's not changing. So the compression software, like or the video compression, doesn't have to process that very much. So you kind of have 60% of the video where all the data is going to, so that 60% will look a lot sharper. The more of the video or your frame that you can get is just static and fixed, is not moving and not changing while you're shooting, the higher quality the video will be. That's why you notice, like, you know what, I'll put in the description, I'll put a video, I'll say compression explanation. There's people that describe this better, so yeah, check the description, they'll go over that whole thing. But yeah, like I said, with this you get the full field of view is moving, and the quality is not the best. So yeah, that's how I did my motovlogging. As far as audio, I use a Tascam. Let's get over to that. I use a Tascam. This is a DR-10L. So this is just a little, I think it's called a lavalier mic. But it's pretty much a little recorder. This can go in my pocket, my motorcycle jacket, wherever. And then this microphone I would stick up on my, either on my collar, and I would do some like post-processing where I remove the background noise. Or I would actually stick it up in the helmet where it's kind of like this while I'm riding. And this little dead cat keeps the wind noise down, and that allows me to talk. So there's a video example of me using this in the description below. So yeah, this Tascam I also use anytime I need to record audio and I'm moving around a lot, or I'm like moving throughout the shot, maybe my back's to the shot, moving behind the camera. Whenever I don't know if I'll be within range of the microphone on the camera, I'll use this. And also I feel like this is in general the best quality audio I get of my own voice when I'm filming videos. The problem is, like I mentioned, it makes the workflow a lot more complicated because I have to cut audio and then line it up with different shots, and I have to do like the clapping, and it just adds a whole another layer of complexity when I'm editing the video. So I don't use this a whole lot unless I need really high quality audio and I'm not really sure if I'll be within range of the camera, or if I'm using multiple cameras and I need the audio to be consistent between those, then I'll use this. So, or motovlogging, like I said. So, yep, that's the motovlogging setup, and also I went a little bit over my audio recording setup when I'm not using the main camera. Most frequently, I'd say this is the most basic, and also the most, I guess what I'm using most frequently, especially when I'm doing like hiking videos and things like that. This is Joby, I think it's the company name, GorillaPod. Let me see. And this is what I use when I'm hiking most of the time, because I can throw it in my front chest pack. It's really small, it takes up a very small amount of space. So let's get that on here. And I can put my phone in it. And I film videos like this. So the last video I did with hiking, I think it was an ode to the walking stick. This is my setup I used. It was just my phone and this this kind of mini phone GorillaPod. They don't sell this exact one anymore, and honestly I'm about to get rid of it because, as you can see, it's starting to wear out, and even when I first got it, it just was not the strongest. It has a lot of trouble with these larger phones, especially like the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the other Pro Max iPhones in the past. So I do like it, it's just kind of weak and it's not super strong, and it's not able to support larger phones. So I will be replacing this. They don't sell this anymore, it's discontinued. So in the description I'll put a link to the current version of this. I don't have experience with the one that's out now, but it's $14. It's a lot cheaper. I think at the time I bought this it was $30, and I'm assuming they kind of like worked out some of the kinks, since I think this is like their first version of this. So yeah, this is probably the thing I use the most often though, and I might be upgrading it to the newer version depending on how the reviews look for that. Yeah, and this is my iPhone 12 Pro Max. I had the 11 Pro Max and iPhone X before that. Probably most of my videos are shot on my phone. It's just always with me. It's the easiest to use. I can easily export it to my laptop, and it's the quality's great, so I can't really complain. And I'm always gonna have it with me. So I don't go out hiking. I don't go out without it. So it's the default option. When I have the time and means to carry around the EOS RP, then that's what I shoot on. The end of the video will be shot on the iPhone, so you can kind of tell the difference in quality for the microphone and the camera. and I'll be doing that when I kind of talk about my main camera more. So yep, moving on. This is a DJI Spark. I don't use this very often. I mostly use it on camping videos or where we're going to be sitting somewhere for a while, because these are kind of finicky, especially getting the connection set up. But they don't sell this anymore. This is probably equivalent to DJI's cheapest drone that they have out now. And the newer ones are probably much better. This is about 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old. And I'll put some video links of videos I've shot with this. I think probably the most recent one was Overlanding camping one. Yeah, but this honestly is not used too much anymore. And I'm not sure if I see myself really using drones a whole lot in future videos. I'll save this for the main camera overview. This is just a little tripod that came with the ring light, which is sitting over there. This is a Ubezi selfie ring light. I use it just for lighting these videos, and I use it sometimes for work as well. But if I know it's gonna be like a flat surface and like something that, because this you can adjust to different kind of surfaces and it's easier to manipulate, but it's not super steady. This is a very steady tripod, and though it came with the ring light, I can use it with the same little phone mount that's on. They came with this mini GorillaPod, and I can use that as a phone tripod. So I actually like using this as a phone tripod. It's very sturdy. You can set it to kind of 90 degrees for like a portrait video, or you can set it horizontal for landscape or horizontal video. So that's kind of cool. So I didn't buy this intentionally. I bought it as part of the ring light, but the whole combination with this and the ring light was like $17. So that's been a great deal, and I would recommend the ring light just because it improves the lighting on a lot of the videos I do. And yeah, that's actually about it. We're getting through this pretty fast. There's not as much stuff in my workflow nowadays. Yep. This is kind of new. This is a bigger version of this little GorillaPod. This is the GorillaPod. Let's see. Joby GorillaPod 3K Smart Kit tripod. So it came with this. It came with a little phone mount. This one's a little bit nicer than the one on the other one because it lets you screw in both vertical and horizontal. Not super necessary, but it's just nice to have. And while it is spring loaded like the other one, you can lock it into place once it's at a certain loading. So there's, I guess, a little bit more security there when you're mounting your phone. And what is also cool is it has like a hot shoe mount on top, so you can mount microphones and just anything else that will mount on like a DSLR camera's flash spot. You can mount this on this little phone one. So I can use better microphones and things like that when I'm filming with my phone, though I don't do that. It has a little level. It feels kind of cheap and plasticky, but it's still nice to be able to level out the shots when I'm using this. And this also works with the Canon EOS RP as a quick release. So you can leave this on the camera and then quickly slide your camera in and out of this tripod. So I just started using this. I used this for the gold panning video I did recently. And maybe a couple of the other ones. I think it's mostly the gold panning videos I've done. I use this with the phone mount. So it was this tripod and my phone. I haven't used this for any videos that I've posted. I haven't used this with my DSLR. So I've tested it, but nothing that any of you have seen. So we're done with that. We're getting on to the DSLR. I'm gonna quickly switch out cameras and we'll be right back. Alright, so now we're on the iPhone that's filming this. Let me know if you could tell a difference in quality between the two. But this is my main camera. This is the EOS RP. It's a mirrorless camera. One of the main reasons I got it is because I wanted to make the switch from SLR cameras that kind of have that single lens reflex. I forget what it's called, but it's pretty much this little mirror that folds out of the way so that the camera can take a picture, but when you look through the viewfinder, you can actually reflect off that mirror and look through the same lens that the sensor sees. But I think this is kind of the future, just going away from that that mirror system. The cameras can be a lot smaller, they're a lot less complicated, and you don't really lose too much since you're still seeing exactly what you see through the lens. And yeah, overall I've enjoyed the switch over to mirrorless. On here I have it's a 35mm f1.8 lens. In the past I've mentioned a couple of times that I've actually referred to this as a 50mm. I make that kind of mistake sometimes because on a crop sensor camera, 35mm is pretty much equivalent to 50mm. But this is actually a 35mm. So if you heard me in the past saying I'm shooting on 50mm, I actually meant 35. Yep, and this is what I use for all the videos that are shot at this table, kind of when I'm doing reviews and just talking. I'm trying to switch this outdoors more often just because it's such a small package. This is the lens I bought it with. It's a 24 to 240 millimeter telephoto lens. And this is great because it goes pretty wide, and then it also lets you zoom in a lot. I filmed quite a few videos with this. The biggest problem is it's kind of huge and it's really heavy. But I got this as a kit. The lens with the body, I think the kit was around $1,500. They don't sell that kit anymore, which is unfortunate because I think that's kind of like one of the best kits they sold. But yeah, they still sell other kits. Maybe just buy the body and buy this lens. That's kind of probably what I would recommend. If you're just trying to look for one lens that will kind of cover a wide range of shots. But I really like these because the aperture is so large with the 1.8, and the package is small. So I bought this as well. I got it on sale for like 300 something, but this 35mm I think is normally around 500. So that covers this. I have this is new. This is a Rode VideoMicro. It mounts right to the hot shoe on the top, and it runs into the camera. One thing I like about this is the audio is recorded right along with the video, so it's saved as a single file, and I don't have to do any type of like joining the audio up after I'm done filming. So that saves me a lot of time with the workflow when I'm using this camera. My most recent video when I did the overlanding thing on Stampede Pass, that was filmed fully with this camera. Now moving on to tripods. I think that's one of the most important things, especially with the larger cameras. This is the Manfrotto. I always have a hard time pronouncing this company, but Manfrotto, whatever. This is pretty old, but this has to be older than 10 years. I actually got this as a gift from my grandmother. She passed away more than 10 years ago, so this is probably close to 12 to 15 years old, and I've done zero maintenance on it. I think I greased the ball once in here, but that was probably unnecessary, and it works great. Super smooth. It locks in place firmly. It has a quick release plate, so you just put the camera like that, it locks in place, and you're good to go. So the only thing I don't like too much is it uses screws to move the legs up and down. A lot of the newer ones have like a clip thing, which is much faster, but this has never failed me, and I've never had a leg slip. So maybe this is the superior method to go. It's almost guaranteed they don't make this exact model anymore. This one is made in Italy. I know this company makes some of their products in other countries and some things in China, especially their cheaper lines. I can't say much about those, but their higher end ones are great, and it's kind of like a buy it once thing, and you'll have it the rest of your life. So I have no doubt that I'll keep this another 10, 20, maybe even like 30 years. So highly recommend it. I'll try to put a link to what's, I guess, the closest equivalent that they're selling new nowadays. But I'm going to do some research on that. So yeah, this is my favorite tripod. Had this since I was in high school, I think. And then as far as like a cheaper, smaller tripod that I don't mind carrying around because it's lighter, let me pull that over here. This one I'm using for the ring light. Sorry, I noticed like when I was looking at the video from the other camera, you kind of see the ring on my glasses. Usually I don't wear my glasses so you don't see that ring, but I'm trying to read things today and it did pop up, so just try to ignore that. This is the ring light I was talking about earlier. It has different settings for kind of light temperature and then different intensities. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So I like this especially for $17 with this little desk tripod. But I don't use it with that tripod very often. I use it with this. Let me look at this. I have it set up here on my computer. I think this was, yeah, $24. This is a little cheap tripod that I use mostly with my phone. It kind of compacts down really small. I wouldn't trust this with an SLR or heavier camera, but it's super small, super light. It's kind of hard to demonstrate how light it is, but this fits nicely in the side pocket of my backpacks. So that's kind of cool. And it can't handle non-flat surfaces, so that's kind of the downside of this. You have to set it on a flat surface since the legs are all stuck to each other. But it gets up to 67 inches, so it's kind of crazy how much this extends, as you can see. But yeah, I use this mostly when I need just a quick tripod for my phone, or when I need something to hold the ring light, or just kind of like a secondary tripod when I'm using the main one. So I think that covered mostly everything. Like as I said, you kind of just need to get to the bare minimum, have some clear audio, have slightly clear video. It doesn't even need to be that clear. Just needs to be understandable. And if you're telling a compelling story, you're probably going to be successful. So don't worry too much about spending a ton of money on all this stuff. Like I said, I mostly film on the iPhone, so on my phone with no extra gear. And I'm actually trying to slim down from all these kind of fancier things like the drones and the GoPros and everything. It's gonna be the phone and this SLR with the external mic, and I've been pretty happy with that setup so far. So I'll keep you guys updated if I do add anything else to the rotation. As far as editing, I actually started off just using iMovie because I just want something quick. Very, very rarely I'll use Adobe Premiere. I think I've only used it like on 1 or 2 videos. The rest of them I mostly use Adobe Rush, just because like the name implies, it's pretty fast. I can just quickly get in there, do some really rough edits, get the video exported and get it up on YouTube. So yeah, the main, as far as editing, it's mostly Adobe Rush. So yeah, that covers everything. Make sure to like, subscribe, ask questions. Check the description. There's gonna be a ton of information in there, links to a bunch of different things, videos, gear, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Hit the subscriber button, and I'll see you guys later.